for the web even before computers. I never thought you'd give me a reason to do this. Cain and Abel, Jesus and Judas.
Caesar and Brutus.
I see the Judas, the virgin eye. I told you keep out of the hood.
Circumcised.
How could you sleep? I thought you always was the first to ride. And yo, you heard the line. Everybody plays the fool. Will I be that exception to the rule? The principle to hand the living lesson to the school. I was making major moves. My dollar deja vu. My mission with my ambition was brandishing a tool to be an icon. Wearing slippers, they.
Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's good, my people? Welcome to the SBP. It is a beautiful, and I do mean a beautiful Sunday morning out there. And we hope everybody is doing well. As always, I am your boy Prime Source. What is good with you to do today, man? How you feeling this morning?
What's up, bro? I'm chilling. Ain't nothing going on over here. Just another day living in the hood. Just another day around the way. It's a little chilly up in this joint, though.
Yeah, it's supposed to get about 70 out there. So actually, it's supposed to turn out to be a pretty nice day out here in VA in the 804. Good morning to everybody checking us out. I see a few people that checked in already. Hope your morning is starting off right. So I seen you eating some cereal over there, man. Breakfast of Champions. What you munching on?
Yeah, ain't nothing but some oatmeal, bro. I'm on the oatmeal diet restrictions.
Okay.
Restrictions trying to get right.
Okay.
So oatmeal with a little bit of strawberry, blackberry, blueberry, granola, hemp seed, chia seed, and sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds. It's a lot going on.
It's all good. Sounds good, to be honest with you. So yeah, man, you watched the fight last night?
Yeah, I watched a bit of it. And it was what I thought it would be. A victory for Tank Davis.
That seemed to be the consensus in the group that a lot of people thought that Tank would win, but there were a lot of buts. If he could dodge that jab, if he could, just get past the third round, and but the love for Tank Davis was large in the SBP.
Man, I thought it was kind of weird, and maybe I just haven't noticed it before, but it was multiple people trying to make it like if Tank Davis doesn't win, then it's embarrassing. I've never seen people before a fight be like, well, if this dude loses, it's embarrassment. Like actual posts about that. I'm
Right.
like, that's what we're doing now? So you don't want to give him any credit. You just want to be like, we're going to laugh at you if you lose, but we're not going to give you credit if you win. Like, I don't understand. What was the point of the fight?
He was a darn good fighter, man. Because he was a darn good fighter. But, a lot of people want to get real technical with it. And I was seeing things like, basically, Garcia's basically got one go-to. He's got that one punch. You can get past that. He's not able to switch up. Styles pretty vanilla, just trying to land the one shot. So people were getting real technical with it. And then I'm seeing all the stuff this morning that people are talking about, was it fixed? People are legitimately questioning the fix because Tank called it in 7 and it went down in 7. And then they even question it because the fact that Garcia got back up to his feet almost immediately after the count. Like, okay, like he, that's it. That's the fight. We went 7 like supposed to. It's fixed. Let's move on. But nah, man, the man legitimately caught that shot. he caught that shot and thought he was gonna mess around with it, and that thing probably was like, nah, I ain't trying to get hit here again. Let me just get on out here. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't claiming to be a boxing expert, but sometimes you get hit, and your whole body be like, nope, I might die if I get hit again. He said, I ain't playing with these people. Hey, it happens. I mean, if it was fixed, I hate to waste my time on it if it was fixed. But if it was fixed, then it would have been a more outlandish, or a less outlandish ending to general viewer. They're not going to make it like they're not going to let people who don't watch boxing come in, see something they don't think is real, and then run with it. Like, that don't make sense. What's the point of fixing it if you just going to do that? That don't make sense. But it is what it is.
He thought his kidney was going to explode. Yeah, it's like you saw when he caught that shot. Then he got like, all right, I'm cool for a minute. I'm gonna shake this thing off, and that thing probably was just like throbbing, like, oh, I'll take another shot right here, and I gotta lift my arms up too. And nah, player. I'm thinking he gonna catch me with a headshot. He didn't went to the body on me. So but it's typical Tank. Tank normally start off slow, and really only started off slow, in my opinion, in the first round. Of course, like he was kind of just feeling it out, and then part of the second round, maybe early in the second round, but then to me, he took over. And of course, he had the shot that he got in the second round. What I did find crazy though, there was one of the judges in the second round that had it even in the second round.
How?
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, come on, bro, really? What boxing are you watching where you can have this even in the second round?
With the knockdown.
Man, that's just ridiculously crazy. So, and they wonder why a lot of people don't watch boxing or don't want to pay for boxing no more, because it's foolishness. We've seen enough of that craziness in the past, but it was definitely a big deal. You saw the star power that was there, especially in the boxing arena from Iron Mike Tyson. Was out there. Manny was out there. Of course, Floyd, which was actually started out over in Tank's corner. We know they didn't always get along, and he was out there. There was a lot of star power out there, man. But at least we got the 7. You feel me? I didn't want, no matter how this went down, I ain't gonna lie, even though I ain't paid for it. I'd have been a little upset this show only ended like in 2.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't paid for it either, so but that was different.
For sure. These NBA playoffs, though, man, we got a lot of things happening in the NBA playoffs right now. Some things a little more lively than other things. And when we talk about things that you and I didn't think would be as live, we kind of don't know that. One of them will be the Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks. Celtics are up 2-1, but the Hawks came out with the big victory on the strength of Murray and Trae Young, which was probably together the best performance they've had together as a duo since this whole thing come together. You think they got hope?
Nope. Sure don't. I mean, they at the crib. They won a game. Congratulations. Back to reality today.
Yeah, tonight at 7:00 they play in Atlanta. Yeah, I'm with you on this, especially as Brown's hand continue to heal. I think, matter of fact, I'm gonna put it out there. I got Boston by doubles tonight. Mm-hmm. I got Boston going to Atlanta and taking care of business in a major way and put that fire out a little bit. So a little bit closer to Atlanta, needing to look like they need to start figuring out what they want to do, what they have to do with that team. Because I expect some of them pieces going to need to be moved. And we saw some things last year where there were some talks, with Hunter and Collins and things. But I think this is going to put a major stamp on it tonight. I got Boston by doubles tonight.
Yeah, Boston with the dub. Back to reality for Atlanta. Right. At least you got a dub. Good run.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's move on to a better series, I should say. Even though the numbers are the same, let's talk about the Knicks in Cleveland. So we know the Knicks came out game 1, game 2. Cleveland came back strong. Looks like it was a Darius Garland show, and we saw that all over social media. But my Knicks looked real good the other night, and I was a little worried only because we tend to play better on the road, but we was coming back home. We came back home to the Garden, and I ain't know what to think. But Spike was happy, Fat Joe was happy, and I was happy. So it's all love. What you think about this series so far?
And my man Dame in the comments was happy as well. There he is right there. Yeah, Dame's happy.
Appreciate it, bro. Well. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Knicks look good. But I mean, this is a game by game type series. So no matter what happens tonight, it could be today it could be It could be a blowout either way. I
Yep.
don't think anybody would be terribly surprised, but I
Please
expect
don't do that to
another
me on
good
Sunday.
game. I'm gonna go Cleveland. I'm gonna go Cleveland. Uh,
Got Cleveland tying it up
to
today.
bring it back to 2-2. This thing going to push this to a seven game series, man.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect today. I hope the energy and the intensity is still there for my guys. RJ Barrett has got to put together at least a game like he had the last game because he's been a lot of the season and definitely so far in the playoffs, he's been pretty much a dud. He played really, really well getting to the basket. I think that's still an advantage. I don't think he just had to put the ball in the bucket when he gets in the lane because I don't think there's anybody on Cleveland that can contend him going to the bucket. Like he seemed to get what he wants, and he puts that shoulder down. He's a little bit bigger than some of the defenders, and I think he can get to the bucket. It's just about putting it in. But the beautiful thing was to see him actually, hit a couple of jumpers and drain a three because he'd been missing horribly. I'm like missing the rim. You know what I'm saying? So because everybody else is going to play. Everybody else is going to play, but I think a lot of this hinges on R.J. Barrett, and a lot of it has to come down to the type of production they got the last game, where it's kind of spread out, offensively and defensively. Just about you can go 5, 6 deep, 7 deep actually, and everybody was making plays on both ends. The scoring was pretty even defensively. Everybody was getting steals. The hustle was there. I was glad that looks like Josh Hart is healthy. Healthy than I thought he was going to be. I was a little worried when he caught that injury, early in the series. But, if they can get the consistency like what you see here, I think that we are looking at a really a good one later this afternoon at 1:00.
What do you think about the whole who I don't even know who was having Shaq? Was it Shaq and Chuck? The conversation about if Jalen Brunson is your best player, then you're not gonna win an NBA playoff series. Or
I didn't
maybe
hear
you
that.
shouldn't win an NBA playoff series. You didn't hear that?
Uh-uh.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't hear that. I heard a lot of praise for Jalen Brunson here over the course of the season, but I haven't heard that, and I think that's BS. I think because I think they can win it. Of course, he's going to need help, but you see what he means to this team, right? I don't know. I don't know what else you need this man to do. He comes in. He's supposedly overpaid. We see that's not the case. He's got the help get the Knicks back into the playoffs. We've seen him take over games this season. And when you get to the point when people are crying about the way that you play, like the defenders are crying about the way that you play because they can't stop it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, that dude is a dog. That dude is a dog. And whether he's your best player or somewhere down the line ends up being your second best player, he's gonna make any team. He can help any team be a contender, no matter who it is. I mean, this dude ball, man. Have you ever seen him like when he's going to the lanes? I'm not talking. He's got a couple of moves when he goes in, he gets the fake, and then he's either the fall away, or the one-handed joint. But it's crazy the control that he has a lot of times, laying the ball off the glass, especially in traffic. He has that uncanny feel. He can put it high up off the glass. I mean, he puts it where he wants it. It just seems to go in. But I'm loving what we're doing with this guy, and I'm loving that what he's bringing to us now. He's the reason we're here.
Yeah, I
The
think
main
sometimes
reason.
people just when they don't expect it, they just don't believe it. The
Yeah,
unexpected, and nobody expected Jalen Brunson to be this. So I can see the questioning it, generally speaking, but he balling. So what else do you want?
it's been a physical series too. Like it seems like every game somebody got hit in the mouth,
Mm-hmm.
hit in the nose, somebody hit in the floor. There was accusing Randall playing football in game 1. Game 2, Cleveland came back and put him on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Your
Couple
boy
times. Like
Brunson got hit in the face. Brunson got hit in the face by his own player and by
that.
so
Yeah.
like it's crazy, man. But it's been a physical series, and I this is exactly what I want to see until this thing is over.
All right. Agreed.
Yeah. So I got to alert that Quinn Grimes is questionable. That could be big defensively, and for a guy who's hit some clutch threes at certain points during the season. So hopefully he plays. It's not like of course, that heart, and of course, quick. Can't fill that role. I mean, that's we both know both of them can get busy.
Right.
But I sure hope Grimes does play today.
Just put John Starks in.
John Starks.
Why not?
Hey, I'll be with it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens at 1 o'clock. I'm looking forward to that. Feels good to get a 1 o'clock game on a Sunday. For everybody to see. So we're gonna see how that thing goes down. What you think about the Nuggets and Timberwolves? I mean, the Nuggets they're up 3-0 in this series, and I don't even know what to say about the Timberwolves other than continue to clap my hands for Anthony Edwards, because who's been balling. He was averaging around about 32 a game in the series, but that's pretty much where it stops. Like they have no answer for Jamal Murray, especially the first 2 games, and they definitely this past didn't have an answer for Jokic, as if anybody does. So it's crazy.
Right. It is what it is, man. I mean, this is what we should expect from a 1-8 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So it happens. I mean, but this is what we should expect. I know people are probably confused when you look at the Miami and Milwaukee series. You'd be like,
yeah.
But obviously that's for a reason. So yeah, 1-8 is supposed to be like this.
Yeah, the beat down is real. Mike Malone and them trying to close this thing out. They played tonight at 9:30 on TNT. So this could be it for the Timberwolves for the season. They can just move on and figure out what they want to do.
1, 2, 3, Cancun.
TNT tonight at 9:30. The Sixers swept Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? Brooklyn at home. And Jacques Vaughn. I can't say anything bad about Jacques Vaughn, man. For the hand that he was dealt, I think he did a commendable job. And now it's just up to the organization to figure out what do they want to do with these pieces between the draft and some of the pieces that they have. You got decisions to make. You probably could, Finney Smith. You probably could, if you don't want to keep Finney Smith. There's some teams that I love to have him. I like that guy. Cam Johnson's out there. The big question, though, would be Bridges, because Bridges is a baller. Like, if you haven't figured it out by now, that, it won't just the fact that he was playing, when he was playing with the other squad. The dude is a baller. Do you keep him and try to bring another piece in with him? Or do you dangle him out there to see what you could possibly get? Because there were teams that would definitely love to have him on their squad as well.
Absolutely. It's going to be hard to put, I don't know what the phrasing is, but it's going to be hard to relegate him to like a third option or something like that again, as he was in Phoenix after watching him break out like this. I hope it ain't a Spencer, even though Spencer Dinwiddie's on the same squad. I hope it ain't a Spencer Dinwiddie situation where your expectations are high based on some things he did, and then it's just not that. He just ain't that. That would be tough. But yeah, he's gonna ball regardless. He's gonna be a integral piece wherever he is, whether it's second option, first option, whatever. He'd probably be best as a second option, actually.
I think so too.
Get with
that second option that can bust you for 30.
Yeah.
At any
point.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think he would be so valuable. They can find a way to keep him. But the way he played, especially since the trade, he could be a valuable option if you're trying to make another move. And if the team is looking to give up, a little something, whether it's in the I don't know if it's I don't know what you would get, but I think they're in a great position with him. It's just about decisions.
Right.
And what's out there. But yeah, so the Sixers move on. No Embiid needed. The other night. And we thought this was crazy. A lot of people was like, well, what's going to happen. James Harden about to have one of them classic games. He played okay. But you ain't got to do all that when you got guys like Tobias Harris that can come out there and lead you in scoring, for a game or two, and you just play steady. Exactly what they did.
And then Maxey, yeah.
Yeah. So Doc, he to keep his job at least another series.
Live to fight another day.
Phoenix and the Clippers, this thing is taking a quite a turn based on a lot of events. Um, you know, Clippers are in trouble. The Clippers are in real trouble. We got the unfortunate situation that's going on with Kawhi right now and his family, which I had forgotten about that was even a thing until it popped up yesterday. And I'm like, darn, they did mention this a while back about this sister situation. And then, we've had no Paul George in there. So it's just pretty much leaving it to the players that be. And then Russ, Russ has been playing all right, though.
Russ balling.
Yeah.
Russ had like 37 and 7, something crazy like that yesterday. Russ is balling. And he started out slow.
37, 30, and 28, I think, so far in the series.
Russ is balling. And he's shooting at a high percentage. Russ balling, but, they don't have enough. They don't have enough to deal with Phoenix without PG and Kawhi. Like, you take the option 1 and option 2 out of the picture. No, nobody can survive. That ain't no different than Brooklyn, for real. You take option 1 and option 2 out the picture, and now you left with whatever you left with. And they had Bridges come in, who balled out, put up numbers, same way Russ is putting up numbers, but they ain't got enough.
Yeah, Booker's been amazing.
Yeah, Booker tough.
Yeah, Booker doing his thing.
Beside KD at that.
Yeah. Yep. And Book was definitely the man in the first couple of games. Durant came to play this past game. We had 31 yesterday, I believe it was. Yeah. So if problem mode about to be activated for real. As they continue to feel each other out, on his basketball court, man. Like, problem mode is definitely about to be activated. And Monty Williams, you never know in these things, man, but Monty Williams got to feel, confident enough right now.
Man, it's gonna be crazy. When we get to Phoenix and Denver. Jeez.
That's going to be what LL said, bananas. It's going to be bananas. When we get to that point. Bucks and Heat up 2-1 in this particular series. So the Bucks were able to pull one out without Giannis. Couldn't quite do it a second time as Miami came out there and handled business again. But how you feeling about this series?
Bro, we talked about this series being a wash before it started. But ain't nobody know Giannis was gonna be watching like we watching. So we couldn't account for that. But man, I was a little disappointed yesterday in the Bucks overall. Like I expect more from them. Like the first game, Giannis went out early, but he went out during the game. Yep. So he's, it's hard to adjust maybe. So take that L, fine, come back and get the dub. But then you come back in the next game, even though it's the first one on the road, and nah, man, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. It could be as simple as Miami going to the crib and getting the dub, and then Milwaukee coming back and handling business. Boom, back to the crib, all that good stuff, and finish that thing off in 6. That's a possibility. And I'm saying without Giannis. I'm saying without Giannis. But dog, it's hard to put Jimmy Butler out if you don't have a dog to lead. And as much as I like Middleton and Drew Holiday, obviously they are not Giannis. So it's a little shaky.
Good morning. Hope y'all have a great Sunday. That's our guy Clark. Clark, you too, my man. No doubt. Hope yours is excellent, my brother. Bruce Parker, what's good, my man? The bro Brian Austin, what's good, y'all?
Bruce,
appreciate y'all. Yeah, we see them Celtics, Brian. I think we both got them handling that business today. I got y'all by at least double digits today. I don't know if you was on earlier when we talked about your guys. It's gonna. I think it could get ugly today. So, but you never know. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. I've seen stranger things. The series and in basketball, I should say. But yeah, so that's going to be real interesting to see how this whole thing gets handled. If we don't get Giannis back in the when they play Monday, they play Monday at 7:30. Can Lopez find another performance like he had a couple of games ago? And see if that's enough to put them over the hump. So we're gonna see. So Giannis get back. Come back healthy. What's up with your Lakers, man? Look like you guys bounced back convincingly last night. I saw during social media, Laker Nation was in full effect. And y'all handle that business. See what y'all up, 2-1?
Yeah, man, you know, a little 2-1 lead ain't no big deal. It's early. It's early. It's gonna come down to game 4, of course. Yesterday was bound to happen. Look, first of all, Dylan Brooks. I don't care for Dylan Brooks. I don't really like him,
Clown.
but I think that, and I don't like. I'm not sure why he's even being hyped up for real.
Yeah.
It feels like somebody chasing the villain role as opposed to just being what they are, which is like, Rodman, Draymond.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they were chasing that. They feel like that's just what they were.
Exactly.
And Bruce feel like he is trying to put on a whole outfit, costume, and be something that maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but I don't see it, and I don't know why he feels it's a thing. Now the LeBron is old, like he's just talking. He was just talking. Plus, that quote was kind of, he wasn't misquoted, but they definitely cut off the other part of the quote. Um, I forgot what he said, but it would have seemed, it would have softened the rest of it. So I don't
Right.
think his quote was
That's what
as
they
terrible
do.
as it. Huh?
That's what they do.
Yeah. Got to set it up, make it look like something.
Mm-hmm.
But it was still unnecessary, and he got that work. He got that work. I wish he could have stayed in the game so he could get the full Monty out that joint. But he punked out, and with the flagrant 2, and got kicked out the game. He did that. And, I don't like that. I don't like him. It has nothing to do with LeBron at all. But yeah, Lakers balling. Lakers balling defensively is the good part. So I just wish they could play the same as opposed to going up and down. I mean, they had the highest scoring quarter in the first quarter, had the lowest scoring quarter in the second quarter.
Right.
Then came back and put up 30 plus in the third quarter. I'm like, can y'all pick a struggle? Pick a struggle. Pick up who are you? So still a ways to go. Ja looked good though yesterday.
Oh, yeah,
For the most part.
for sure. For sure. And I like, he's come back to me, a little humble, a little more humble. We haven't seen, Ja gonna be Ja, but I haven't seen him, get too extra,
Yeah.
anything. I think he was humbled a little bit by everything that he just went through. But of course, like I said, you got somebody else on the squad that's got majority of the mouth. Did you think that was a dirty play last night when he get ejected?
Yeah. It was dirty. And based on the other flagrant 2s from the day before or the week before, whenever, I mean, it had to be a flagrant 2. Because it was, I mean, that was, what are you doing? The question, what was he doing? Like, what was he doing? So, but I still wish he could have played the rest of the game. I wish he had made the decision to play the rest of the game as opposed to making a decision to do that and then act like he was surprised. Oh, what? You know what you did. So.
All right. So you worried about the series? Or you think y'all gonna be okay?
Oh yeah, I mean the Lakers. I still don't trust the Lakers completely. I don't trust them. They ain't gonna have me out here like, yeah, we got this, Joan. But yeah, of course I expect the Lakers to win. But I mean, Memphis is a good team. They're a well put together squad.
Mm-hmm.
And if everybody balls, then they are a problem. Problem is, can't start out like they did yesterday because the game was over before it started.
Dug that hole early. All right, and then the series that I think we probably hyped up more than everybody else, and then everybody got into it. The Kings and the Warriors. The Kings and the Warriors, and the Kings are up, are up 2-1 in this bad boy. And then I think for the people who are just now waking up, I tried to tell you, we tried to tell you that this had the possibility of being something, like really being something. Now I know y'all feel like the Warriors getting that win the other night they're just a better team without Draymond. I'm not going that far because the numbers would say different. If you want to get all technical and statistical and all that about point differential and all that, but it's gonna be a series, and this is one I hope we get every bit of 7.
Yeah, we got to get 7. We got to get 7 out of this one because the Warriors don't really lose at the crib, and they don't really win on the road. Unfortunately for them, they got 4 road games. If this series goes 7 games, so that's not a good look. But they got to get the one today, obviously, and they should be expected to get the one today as well. They got the one without Draymond the other day, so you got to expect the Warriors to get this dub, and then it's a 3-game series, and that's when it gets real.
Yeah, if you want to, this is a beautiful Sunday, man. Like, because the 2 early matchups are great. Like I said, we talked to the Knicks in Cleveland. That's a great matchup. Knicks fan, Cleveland fan or not, it's a great matchup to win the series. And then right after it at 3:30, we're getting, we getting, Steph and Fox. You feel me? I think, beautiful for the world to see. I think to me in this series, I think you're looking at 2 teams that have been pretty similar. Like we've seen in the past, we've seen the Warriors come out and deploy a lot of times smaller lineups. They get out there and pass the ball really well and then just gun that thing and shoot the thing. Realistically, we've seen that a lot this season and in this series with the Warriors. We know what Sabonis is about down low, but they employ some smaller lineups during the course of this series too. The Kings had, and still they're right where they want to be. They're playing the same type of game. The real differential, though, I think, is the points off the turnovers. I saw something the other day. They said points off of turnovers. I think it was this past one, the past game. Well, I think it was game 2, maybe. They were up like 41-14 over the Warriors.
Wow.
So they are capitalizing on turnovers. And that's for a team that struggled here and there defensively during the course of the season. Great offensively. They fluctuated from, the number 1 and number 2 scoring team the majority of the season, but they've had some defensive lapses. But they are definitely capitalizing on the turnovers of Golden State in this particular series. And I think that's going to be key.
Do you know how many points Malik Monk had last game?
I don't even have my numbers in front of me. But I know that everybody been talking about Monk. Like, nobody expected Monk to have the games that he's had. But, hey.
Yeah, of course, he put up the 30 plus in game 1. So you can't have that. That's what Draymond said. You can't let both Kentucky guards go crazy. Like that ain't gonna work. Like you can't win.
I saw something too that I noticed. If you watch most of these series, right, we've seen a lot of strategy, people trying to work the ball into their guy and do what they do. But the Kings are gunning. Like they said, the average possession for the Kings so far throughout the playoffs has been like 14 and a half seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not letting that clock come down. They coming down just shooting it. And that's the way they play.
I ain't mad at it. I mean,
what you think about today? You think so? You think the Warriors gonna tie it up?
Yeah.
You tie it up today?
Yeah. They got no. They got to. They can't. They went on. They went at the crib and they down a game. So if they have to go back to Sacramento down 2 games, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Even though they are the defending champs and perennial champs when it comes down to it. They got to get the dub today, and I believe they will handle business and head on back to Sacramento. I don't think the refs are doing the Kings any favors with all the free throw attempts in the first 2 games. If they get deeper.
I saw that question somewhere else too.
I don't know if they can keep up 60 free throws in the first
game.
game.
I saw somebody questioning that on one of I was watching something on YouTube, the guy whose show it was, and it was an NBA show, and somebody was saying the same thing. I haven't really noticed it, but it's obvious. If you got people talking about it, that's Jay who brought that up. But I saw that on another on an NBA podcast on YouTube. couple of days ago. So evidently it's out there. So people
Well,
have that thought.
they'll take that at the crib. They'll take that at the crib. You know, it happens when you're at the crib sometimes. I know that's kind of extreme though.
No, Dre, what's up, man? Jay, what up, Cuzzo? Big G, money in the house. What's up, brother? But yeah, this whole thing is interesting, man. This whole thing is interesting. I think I'm with you on that. I think that I could see Golden State tying that thing up today, and I hope they do because, like I said, I want this thing to go every bit. I want it to go every game they can actually give us, man.
Yeah, let me see. So that's Cleveland, Golden State, with Denver, of course, and what's the other game this evening?
This evening, we got Cleveland. Boston.
Boston.
Yep. I'm with you, except for the first one. I ain't even gonna pick the first one. I'm just gonna pray. I mean, the Knicks game. I'm just gonna pray. Let's just say that.
Fair enough.
I need to get a little cushion with these people because I didn't seen them enough this year, so I know what they about. So I need Garland to play like he played last game. That's what I need. That's the Garland. I don't need game 2 Garland. I need game 3 Garland. You know what I'm saying?
G2G, game 2 Garland. No.
Let's see who got this here. The big question is Brunson the Knicks' best free agent in the last 20 years? It's too early. And what I'm saying is you can't, we were talking about it earlier, Jay. You can't discredit anything that he's done because everybody who was talking smack about, because it was the Knicks, number one, I already know. Then number two, the fact that they overpaid him and all that are quiet now. Nobody's saying there's nothing anybody can say. I was talking to our guy, I don't know if he go by actively lazy anymore, but Allen. And, he and I had a long-standing thing talking about we overpaid him. He told me a couple of weeks ago that, you know what, I was wrong. Y'all still ain't winning nothing, but I was wrong. That's what he said. So I said, at least you know, bro. At least you know. This guy balls, man. And he's everything for this team. He's a leader. He can shoot the ball inside and out. He controls the tempo. Y'all been noticing that, Jay, you noticed that Julius Randle ain't been bringing the ball up the court like he was trying to be a point forward last year. I don't know what he was thinking. So too early for that, but yeah, it could end up that way. We'll see.
I don't think I've been paying enough attention over the past few years to just random information. I had no idea until the other day that Darius Garland was Winston Garland's son. I was like, hold on, what? But I didn't even think about it. Like we all know Jalen Brunson is the son of Rick Brunson.
Yeah.
But yeah, Winston Garland played in the league like 7 years, probably something like that. Yeah. He was a baller. So I never even thought about it. Never even crossed my mind.
It's my guy, my bro right here, my man Zach. That's the best move we made, and his floor presence allowed others to get theirs. That is true. Look, I say this. I will say this since we got enough people watching, and I know it's very, very few. Matter of fact, as I can tell on our feed, Zach, what Damon's on here too, that only Knicks fans, right? And then y'all always like the dog and clown as it's just the Knicks, right? But you got to give up props. We've dodged some bullets. Because it seems like we've gotten this right. And I hope it continues to pan out. But you go back these past few drafts, and y'all was laughing. We didn't get Zion. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at all that we didn't get Zion. Y'all was like, y'all didn't get him. We were the clowns of the internet. The Knicks this, and we couldn't get down low enough in the draft. Then there was, you go back for then. Remember we had the what was it? Oh, the whole Kyrie thing. And I ain't discrediting Kyrie is a baller, regardless how we feel about everything. He's a baller, and then not being able to get him and KD over there. Well, y'all have probably been laughing at us. It's possible y'all been laughing at us early this year, right? If that would have happened, them two of them won't getting along, or Kyrie wasn't getting along with the organization, whatever. Because you know what type of owner we got, right? So I'm just saying.
Speaking of Kyrie and KD, one last time, how many of y'all said, "Oh, they're gonna win the championship" when they got together? Oh, they're gonna win the championship.
That is officially dead.
Y'all, just because it looked good, don't make it good. What? Who was it? Was it Joey Porter talking about Tampa Bay,
Mm-hmm.
or was it? Yeah, paper champions.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. But Nixon died some bullets, man. Nixon died some bullets. Hopefully, we make it out of this series. All right, but there's nothing else. We didn't make the playoffs last year. There's nothing else anybody can say at this point about this. See, the season's already been a success for what everybody was expecting, and the haters are quiet now. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Right now. But still pray for us today. Hey, so here's a question. We're gonna talk about this real quick though. Get out of playoff mode to say, even though some of these folks that we're about to talk about are in the playoffs, but something came out the other day, and I saw it on several outlets. I think the Athletic recently were the first to drop it, right? Then it came out in other sources. But there is apparently an anonymous most overrated NBA player poll that was taken. And keep in mind, these are players that did this poll, so not the fans. And there's some names on the list. I got a lot of questions. So I wanted to talk about this because, we both love the NBA, but I consider you our NBA guy for sure. And I just need some help with this list. Now, I understand the Trae Young thing. Whether you agree with it or not, I understand the Trae Young thing. Part of it because I think, in my personal opinion, a lot of people just don't like Trae Young, right? Especially if you're in New York. You know what they chant inside and outside the garden, right? But I also think it could be some merit to it too. If you want to talk about other aspects about people being able to bully him defensively, things of that nature, like he ain't really checking all that. Okay, I'm gonna give you that, right?
As they should.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But when I look at the rest of this list, Julius Randle. Okay. I'm not gonna take up for Randle because he's a Knick. I'm just trying to figure out. Nobody's saying that Julius Randle is a superstar, right? But we would be naive to not realize that is as horrible as he's played, especially down the stretch in a lot of games. Don't give Julius the ball down the stretch, please. He is also a very big reason for their success too. There's been multiple 30 and 40-point games, but I don't think anybody was sitting there saying that Julius Randle, should be on the level of Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody said that should be on the level of some of these other players. So I'm a little confused as I look down this line. I think a lot of this being the fact that this is a player thing.
Yeah,
I think it's more just feelings involved than a lot of these players or anything. It's just feelings.
I don't disagree. It's only four people it's four people on this list that I would say are overrated. Just
Okay.
generally speaking. And I could say, you could say Julius Randle is overrated,
Okay.
but not at second, like, not second to Trae Young. Like, that's kind of wild. They that high on the list. But Trae Young, cool, get it. Randall, to an extent, I get it.
Okay.
Rudy Gobert, I'm okay with that because I think that it's hard to value somebody that's not getting you a lot of buckets when they're that big.
Right.
It's hard to value a big man like that, and his specialty is defense. Like how heavily do you value his defensive presence? Because you've seen him get worn out by individuals, but he might come off the ball and make plays and get boards and all that. So I can get that one. RJ Barrett, I definitely get that one.
Yeah, fair enough.
And Dylan Brooks. Other than that, I don't know what this is. Now, I can't say, maybe it's the fact that I can't say that who should be on this list. Like in my mind, I don't have a list of overrated NBA players, but a lot of these names are not the ones that I would think of first. That's kind of wild. Austin Reeves on there because he hyped up because he's white. That's what it is. We come on now, like
Man, Reeves can ball though. People,
yeah,
just,
no, I'm not
Yeah.
saying he's overrated. I'm saying that is why he's there. That's why he's there. Chris Paul, nobody likes Chris Paul. I mean, people like Chris
that's
Paul,
feelings right there.
but that's no, yeah, they don't like Chris Paul. I don't know why you got Dame on there. Oh, who? So Paul George and Russ must have made this joint. I don't know who got Damian Lillard.
Well, I'm trying to figure what people's reason would be. Players' reason. Why, we understand. We know why Chris Paul is on here.
Yeah.
All right, but the Dame thing, I'm confused because you named it. What has like a PG, right? People been now. I've been hearing now. Granted, I take it back because I haven't heard players or seen players say it, but I hear people talk about PG is overrated all the time.
Yeah, that's nuts in itself. But just I'm saying PG because he gave him that 35-footer at the end of the series and waved him off. That was good. That was
right.
That's why PG would have said, "Dang, it's overrated. Get him out of here." Draymond is, in my opinion, Draymond is underrated. He's way more underrated than he is overrated on that team. But half the time,
people don't like him.
People don't like him. People don't like him.
To say it again for the people in the back.
I don't know why Jaren Jackson would be on this list. I have no idea why Jimmy.
You can win Defensive Player of the Year awards as he's done it, and Gobert did it too.
Gobert, yeah.
People don't respect defense anymore. I don't know.
Jimmy Butler, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Pascal Siakam, I don't understand that either. I'm not sure.
How did Dylan Brooks even get on this list?
Why is he even mentioned?
How is he even on the list, bro? Like
he's not even supposed to be on here. So he's not supposed to be here. He ain't supposed to be on here at all.
Elbow somebody in the mouth, and he
But look, it's hard to overrate him because what do you rate him in general? What are you saying? Like what are you expecting from Dylan Brooks? I still say he's overrated. I get it, just because his name comes up, but that's just because his name comes up, and just being visible.
It's just
making
wild.
himself visible.
What you say?
I said making himself visible.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely don't understand Jimmy Butler being on this list. I think maybe a couple of people don't like Jimmy either because Jimmy can talk with the best of them, getting when he wants. So I feel like this list, I would say probably 85, maybe 90% of this list is just feelings. Like and which time period they just talking about, like just now, like this list is as of right now.
When was this list made? Yeah,
that's what I want to know because we know that Chris Paul is not the Chris Paul, of old. So are you talking about just now? You know what I'm saying?
I actually saw somebody say that Chris Paul is trash now. I'm like, I mean, I get it if you don't like Chris Paul, but that's just what 2 years? No, maybe 2 years is not enough. Mm-hmm. Maybe 3 years ago. How many years ago was it when Chris Paul dragged OKC by himself?
To
the playoffs. People were trying to write him off then. So, and if you watched him yesterday, that mid-range still that mid-range. And in crucial moments. So, I don't know. That could be a dislike. I mean, it's another dislike thing, I guess. Don't ask NBA players anything, clearly.
Well, I didn't give credit to a lot of folks regardless. And I know it's about feelings in any sport. We talked about on this very show, when we talk about the women, how many times have I brought up the fact that Candace Parker's peers at one point voted her
Oh yeah, she was most
one of the
overrated.
overrated players in the WNBA.
She was number one.
So
Like, wow.
feelings, man.
That's
Somebody
the
owes
Jermaine.
somebody money from an off season pool game or something. You
This
know
is
what I'm saying?
this is the Jermaine Jackson special. The don't take it personal. Anonymous NBA player poll. Goodness
So,
gracious, but
look, somebody's Rutgers squad or AAU squad ran up on the other squad, that they sponsor.
right.
Stuff got ugly. So
What's beef?
yeah, look, I need y'all to roll with me on this. Put y'all votes in me. I want y'all to say such and such trash. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Agreed.
It's crazy. Last thing we got today. So I'm gonna go ahead and warn some of y'all. If you haven't by now, that's on you. Or you can go ahead and log off if you don't want to see it with no spoilers or whatever it is, whatever the situation is. But we're gonna talk about something. Was probably the biggest thing that went down outside of sports last week, right? We're gonna talk about Snowfall, bro. We're gonna talk about Snowfall. We're gonna talk about this great show that was given to us. What would have been back in 2017, brought to us by the great John Singleton, and it came to an end, sadly enough. But they told a great story. But people were losing their minds because of the way things went down. So I'm about to tell y'all now, we about to talk spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't been on Facebook and been spoiled enough, I'm letting you know. 3, 2, 1, here we go.
Let me get my log off. I gotta log off.
Get the mute button. So let's talk Snowfall, man. So how did you feel? First of all, we'll start. How did you feel about this? How things ended up?
Oh, I gotta sneeze.
Because this is gonna be fun. This is going to be fun.
My bad. Sheesh.
Now you good?
So how did I feel about how it ended?
Yeah, let's talk about that, man.
Okay. So overall, I don't usually love series finales, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of many series finales that I can say, "Yo, that was great. That was a great way to end it." Because it's rare. Because somebody gonna be mad, regardless of what happens. Somebody gonna be mad, partially because the show was going away, and because it didn't end the way they wanted it to end.
True.
And I would say I didn't love the actual episode as much, but the way it ended, I respect it. I respect the way it ended. I respect the way it ended because look, I don't want to be the first one to say anything. I'm gonna let you be the first one to spoil it for whoever. But man,
that's all.
I mean, what do you expect? Like it I guess it's 3 ways. It's 3 ways in. Dead, locked up, or on the other side of the coin. There ain't but so many endings. It's gonna be realistic. And watching a lot of people talk about it, a lot of people were like, "I have seen this story firsthand. I have seen this happen in real life." So I was fine with the actual ending. It's sad to see, but it is what it is. It ain't like it's far-fetched.
Yeah, so I was mixed on the episode at first. I'm not gonna lie to you. So they gave us an hour and a half, basically.
Yeah, that joke never ended. I was like, man,
and
we get to the end.
So I'm sitting there watching the ending of this series, and the whole time that I'm there, I'm like, okay, this is okay. All right, okay, they're wrapping this up. Okay, there's Peach. Okay. But then as we got closer to maybe the hour point, I was like, man, they ain't running out of time for some dramatics to pop off. Come on, bro. I'm getting a little worried here. And I'm sitting there watching it. And then when we got down to 15 minutes, I'm like, come on, man. And I'm like, oh, they could have done so much better than this. Come on, bro. 10 minutes, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, boy, I already know this is about to be crazy. Not really knowing what we were about to get. And then it happened. And we get to the end, and we find out that we see that nothing went Franklin's way. Franklin broke. Not Franklin ain't get his money. He broke. Folks turned it back on him. Some people just moved on. And we get this image of Franklin down and out, drunk, dirty, looking homeless, which we end up becoming homeless. Like, and I sat back and I thought about this whole thing. And I was like, you know what? Now putting it back together, I think I feel a little different about the episode now, even everything about it, even early when I was getting worried. So I had to go back and watch it. And I'm definitely more fine with the final episode now than I was when I was first watching it. Right. Yeah. I'm definitely fine with it, man. I'm definitely fine with it, even though it kind of hurt.
I saw a lot of people say that, man. Like, it's like losing a friend. It's like, the combination, like I said, the combination of the show ending and the way it ended, the struggles of Franklin, the protagonist of this whole series. I get it. You feel some type of attachment. Like, I saw somebody was like, man, I usually go back and binge watch shows. I don't think I can do this one because it was heavy to them. It was a heavy, I guess the cycle of emotions and watching it play out. It was, it felt personal. Feels personal. So I get that. But I do think they did a great job. Not great. They did a nice job in going back and making sure we got something about everybody that was left. We found out, something about the way things were going for everybody that was left on the show.
So let's go there, because the one thing that I got questioned about, I was at work, and I was talking to someone about the series, and the questions was about what we thought about Louis' situation, right? And it was like, I just don't buy. I like the series and I like that, but I just don't buy some folks putting Louis up, especially, when I want the same color, they would, I just don't see it. But she got off better than Franklin. And I was like, well, there's a lot we still don't know, because why did they put her up? Were they just willing to help? We never found out if she actually had another stash of money, because you remember in that episode when her and old boy, the crooked officer, was going on, he asked where they were going, and she said, we're going to go, blah, blah, blah. I got a stash. You see what I'm saying? And I presented that to the person I was talking to. And they was like, but that don't make sense. That she would go get her own stuff. I said, no. But I said, well, if she, depending on how the money is, she still need to stay under the radar. Right.
Right.
So how do we know? We don't know that maybe she's broke them off a couple of dollars. Like, look, I need blah, blah, blah. That might not have been the case, but that could have played out that way as well.
There was no money, in my opinion.
There was you don't think money. She had any cash?
No, there was no money. She needed to get out, and there was nobody she could turn to. There was really nobody that she could turn to. And the only reason dude did is because she said there was money.
Yeah.
That was his only reason. And she realized that on the way to wherever she was trying to get to. She realized that he was. I guess there could have been money. I feel like there wasn't money. I feel like there wasn't.
I mean, a small amount. I mean,
maybe a smaller amount. Yeah. But the people, in my opinion, I still need to go back and watch it the second time, and I am going to go back and watch it. I feel like they really I mean, they had no clue until the moment they were saying it. In my opinion, they had no clue until the moment they were talking to the FBI, whoever it was, what was happening.
Okay.
They did not know, and they love her. They love her since she's been with them.
Okay.
She like whatever. In my opinion, she's like family to them now, or at least a good person, or ain't caused no problems. Nothing that they would want to give her over to these people, knowing what that is going to entail and be the end of her life one way or the other. And they were just like, no, the same way. Like, it, I'm trying to think of something. I was thinking of what is it? Oh man, Tom Tom Hanks, Road to Perdition.
Yeah.
Yeah, on some Road to Perdition type stuff with the son that came back and all that. Yeah, I feel like they just were like, I mean, we're not gonna give her up to y'all. They probably don't even rock with the police for real. They out in the middle of nowhere, a
Mind their
white lady and a
business.
black man,
Yeah.
and they got their own life. And like she said, we had people come through here. They probably running from something. But yeah, she was here a while ago. Blah blah blah, and keep it moving.
So unpopular opinion on my part, and I know you know how I am. I don't jump to conclusions. I like to hear the whole story or try to watch everything carefully. Now you may feel differently, but overwhelmingly, I have seen folks. So they talk about everyone turn their back on Franklin. So to me, there's two people that didn't. One of them was Oso, because Oso been straight with Franklin from day one, right? They didn't really have any major issues, and towards the end, that's why one of the reasons with Franklin, he needed them, of course, but Franklin was so loyal to him, and that they ended the way they did. Oso never turned his back on Franklin. He didn't.
Never.
The unpopular one, what I'm saying is everybody saying Veronique did. V. I don't think she did.
I don't think she did either.
Yeah.
But keep going.
And I hate to say it because our people, I knew she won't nothing. This and that. I told you she won't ish. And I'm like, yeah, we were probably like most of us, we were keeping our eye on her the whole series. Like if she would have flipped, she would have flipped. And we find out she was down with the CIA. No. But at the end, if you watch, she'd already seen Franklin spiraling. And he was getting worse and worse over time, turning into a sociopath, right? That moment when he put his hands on and had the hand around her neck,
boom.
What y'all expect her to do? She got a baby on the way. All right. She's already at the point, especially when she finds out what he wants, she's trying to tell him to do one thing, especially when they were talking about those properties. Her idea, he wanted to get rid of, I think all the money. He wanted to get rid of the big property, right? And he deal with the little stuff later. She was trying to tell him, no, you need to use that big property and what you can get from that to continue to fund those. And we can have a steady flow of income for a minute, and then you can figure it out. There's no reasoning with them. And you put your hands on her? Nah, she's like, nah, I didn't give up, all this time of my life, and I got a baby on the way. I got to make sure I'm good. I'm out. How was that doing it? How was that doing him dirty?
I am 100% with you on that front. That's it right there.
Yeah.
The moment was when he put his hands on her. Yeah. And he did that. Mm-hmm. And the disagreement he did like a lot of people do when they're in some type of business relationship, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. And we're partners until we ain't partners. And now I can't make no decision without you. And you acting like this, man, y'all crazy. So y'all like, oh yeah. He put his hands on her. So, but she's supposed to be like, I'm just gonna stay. It's gonna be all right. What you wanted to do? What you wanted to do?
Indeed. The one thing I can honestly say that I am happy about is that, for seasons, I always thought, you know what? This is going to turn out ugly. And my guy, Leon ain't going to make it. Leon made it, y'all. Leon made it. I just do like if you watch Snowfall from day one and everything that he did and he went through and the stubbornness and what I was like, yeah, they gonna stab us in the heart. We're gonna lose him. Then we messed around, of course, we lost Unc. And I said, I can't take no more. We're gonna lose Unc. Now we're gonna lose Leon before this thing is over.
Yeah,
Leon made it, bro.
Leon made it. That's probably the shocker of the series right there.
Yeah.
Leon made it through. Everybody died around. I mean, he was in the middle of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, Leon and Scully.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Scully. Scully's still at it.
He's still alive. Yeah, but yeah, Leon. Yeah, he's probably a favorite of a lot of people
Yeah.
because you can love Franklin, but at some point you might have been like, I don't know what I saw in this guy. You might,
Yeah.
at some point you might have flipped. You might have changed. He might have become, the anti,
Mm-hmm.
which happens. It happens in a lot of movies. Speaking of which, I was in a conversation, totally different topic, but I was in a conversation um, about Shaq, not Shaq, Suge Knight,
Uh-huh.
and this guy was saying Suge Knight should not be trying to do a documentary or do a story about his life because he wasn't the protagonist.
Huh?
I was like, only black people would think that a black person can't be considered negative and have a movie about him. Dog, it's a movie called Black Mass. When we saw Tony Montana, like
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Like
Yeah.
only black people would think that a black person can't play that role or play that have that series about them because they're a negative person. That's wow. Anyway, that would just cross my mind. But yeah, Leon and Wanda.
Yeah.
Wanda. First, Leon is Mrs. Saint's biggest. What did she say? Biggest. Did she say surprise
Something
or
like that. Yeah.
biggest?
Um,
Like Franklin's a
yeah.
regret, and Leon is the opposite, basically.
Yep.
And if you think about it, Franklin was the prize, and Leon was at the bottom at the
Yep.
very beginning.
Yep.
But they were friends, and they just flipped by the time it got to the end.
Everything came full circle because I'll be honest with you, what I thought was going to happen, I've been telling everybody. My real thoughts early in the season, when we get to the end of this thing, I said, watch Wanda and or Leon dies. And I thought because they kept harping on that point about she wanted to go back. What were they, Ghana, whatever? So they wanted to go back.
Yeah.
She wanted to go back. And he ended up back in the game, taking over the hood. And I said, man, you know what's going to happen? One of them's going to die. And we're going to get a scene of Wanda either being, if we just would have went back and she's crying over him or at the funeral. Or I thought the opposite, guilt was going to overcome him because she was going to end up, somebody's going to run up on her or she catches something. And he was going to start thinking, man, if I had only listened to her and we had stayed or gone back, this would not have happened. Yep. I really thought we was going to get one of those two things. Unfortunately, we didn't. And, fortunately, we didn't. And they both made it out. This scene right here, though, before we wrap this up, of course, what they always say, how it was and how it's going or whatever. You look at this, man, and this is crazy. This is crazy. Leon got a lot of money, putting his money back in the community. Listen to Miss Saint when she pleaded with him, go get your wife, take these books, blah, blah, blah. And, clean himself up. And he's good there. And then, of course, we see Franklin looking at the unfortunate way that he looks and the way that he ended up. I also want to say something, too, as far as Franklin. And I think people are getting misconstrued because they didn't give us the inclination. Because I'm seeing people talking about he turned into a junkie. We don't have any real thing that shows that he was doing drugs. The man turned into an alcoholic like his father that he never really knew, early on. He might give you, the crackhead vibes, right? But we never saw him in there using drugs. Do you remember we saw him before as things started to spiral. He was at the bar. The guy gave him that drink.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see throughout this episode that there's a bottle around, or he's drinking, drinking the hard stuff. So the only thing that we really feel like, or they gave off to me, was the fact that he turned into a heavy drinker, alcoholic during his depression. I ain't never seen anything about no drugs, no matter how he looked.
That's a great point. I definitely was on the junkie vibes. I wasn't thinking. I mean, I was thinking alcoholic because he always had the bottle and his dad.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw him. Was that the first? Did he not drink during the series?
I'm trying. I don't remember. Now I have to go back. Somebody who's watched it more recent, like Kim Clark, can tell us. I don't remember him drinking during the series.
I don't remember him drinking either, which
He may
makes it
have.
even
I just don't remember it.
right. But that's the thing, though.
But they emphasized it in this season, especially late. They emphasized it.
They emphasized that first drink, that the first. Who was he with? Or did he just pick up the bottle?
So you talking about? I'm trying to think of which part he had. So he had the part when he was at the bar. He sat there because he was going through all that. And the dude gave
Yes.
him yep.
Yes, that. And the guy gave him the drink. The guy gave him the drink because he didn't know what to drink.
Right.
And the guy said, "It's on me," and he drank that joint. Was that the first time he drank in the series? I'm not sure.
I don't know why. I don't remember. There's something I almost feel like I have a flashback, or maybe I seen him with a 40. I don't know, but I can't definitively say I remember. I'm going to go back and watch it from the beginning again to make sure. But I'm going to tell you, probably most people don't have an answer.
But if that was the beginning, that was a big deal that kind of slid under the radar. Because that joint just the alcoholism in the family, pointing to the alcoholism in the family and how it can be triggered like that.
Yeah. It's a lot of parallels in this stuff. We talk about the drinking and how he ended up like his father, who he despised early on. Never really knew his dad. His dad ended up drinking.
So hold up. Just like his father, never knew his dad, and look at his child. Look at Franklin's child. He's not gonna know his dad. Not. No, it was a son, right? He's not gonna know his dad. I think he tried with Avi.
He may have. He may have. But even then, we get to the point where, as maybe he drank here and there, but then as he started to spiral, things got heavy. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. We talking about parallel, so we talk about that. The dad. We talked about him having a child that he's not gonna know. Then you got a couple of small things, and the one thing that stuck out to me that I caught immediately is when he broke into the safe. When he finally got into the safe, the Peaches and them had away. It was $12,000. I'm pretty sure that was the amount of money he bought his first brick with.
Word.
Yeah, he started out one of his first purchases he had when he started to go harder. It was $12,000 in there.
That would be dope. That would be dope if they did that.
So I just love all of that. And of course, I already know because I saw what you posted. The whole they incorporated paying tribute to John Singleton with the Boys in the Hood.
I didn't catch it, but it's not because I didn't think about it at all. Because I'm like, that's odd that they just threw that in there.
Yep.
But I was so focused on what was about to happen to end the series that I didn't even pay any more attention to that moment until I saw somebody post about it. I was like, yo, because I definitely didn't see the kid. If I would have seen the kid with the striped shirt, you definitely would have known it was Boys in the Hood. But yeah, that was fire right there. That was fire.
Yeah, and that whole scene too. A quick small backtrack when he was talking about he was giving you junkie vibes. Not that he couldn't. The only other reason I think that it was just alcohol was the fact that he was making fun of Wanda. He asked how Wanda was doing, and he was talking. It was like, did she go back to that, or that
her
whole
first love?
Yeah, his first love. Like, would he make fun of somebody being on drugs if he was on them? Like, I don't know.
And he had the lady out back. The lady that was out back.
Yeah,
dropping a deuce. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, so I don't know. But I think if you go back and watch the ending, even though it's kind of hard,
I'm gonna
And
watch the whole thing actually, maybe
yeah, the
today.
whole thing. I think you may feel a little bit differently, but I was just like everybody else. We got 10 minutes left, and we ain't got to what? This is too quiet. What's going on? You know.
So they were stressing me out because the commercials kept popping up every
Yep.
35 seconds. I'm like, hold on, bro. We just watched 3 minutes of commercials.
What's
We
up,
just watched
Arvin?
commercials.
Yeah. So so supposedly they got a spinoff coming. And we knew a while ago if the rumors were true, which we pretty much figured it was true because she told it that what's her name, Gail, whatever her name is, Wanda,
Mm-hmm.
had put out there. And I think she was talking to Dateline or somebody. There's a spinoff coming. And I don't have a whole lot of details on it other than the fact. So back in the early 80s, of course, when Snowfall was taking place in the 80s and during the crack epidemic, this is supposed to deal more with gangs and gangster rap. Uh, and you know when all that comes into play, and evidently she's going to be in it, which makes
Right.
sense
Yeah.
because Leon told Franklin she was trying to get into music or something.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all that we have, and also the point that so when you mentioned Scully, and then we never mentioned like Manboy, right? Even though
Yeah.
stuff the way Manboy told him how things end up, right? So they were Bloods and Crips, right? So now we're talking about the gangster rap and this gang situation coming in. I don't know if Scully's gonna be still alive by the time we see this, but there's a chance that you can see him if he's still around when we get to this. Also, if you think about the young guys that was in front of Franklin's house when Leon went looking for him. Remember, it's young cats, and it was like,
Yeah.
who you, whatever. He said, I used to live around here, so they automatically figure like, oh, he from used to live around here. He must be all right. All of them had guns, young cats. You know what I'm saying? So when you're talking about what this potential spinoff could be, I think we know a lot, and it leaves a door open for us to, even if it's not in a full sense, to actually see some of these people maybe in the guest appearance. Maybe we still see, if Leon and Wanda are still married, or whatever. We can see them again potentially at some point.
True. It
So,
ain't a lot of people. It ain't a lot of people we can still see.
yep. So we think about stuff is still crazy. I had a great show in Snowfall. The boys started out peddling weed, went to harder stuff. They had the whole Lynn Byers situation. Lynn Byers died, and things just went crazy from there, in '86. So overall, I enjoyed the series though. But I just challenge anybody who was as shocked and as hurt as a lot of us were what happened to our guy Franklin Saint.
Mm.
Everything just came full circle. From like I say, the daddy situation, the son situation, the $12,000, all types of stuff, man. Even towards it. So look at this. This is how he ended. But this is the beginning at the bottom. Yeah, so it's very interesting, man. So
Symmetries.
yeah, so shout out to John Singleton. Rest in peace. Shout out to everybody who kept it going. Show could have definitely dropped off and got kicked to the wayside, but they kept it going, and I enjoyed 99% of it. They had a few things like, come on, man, like Franklin in there with tigers and
Yeah, that was
but I
that was the
get it.
jump. That was the jump the shark moment.
Yeah, so I get it, but it is what it is, man. What's this? Oh yeah, Arvin. It's Arvin. They said it's supposed to be her creating a music label. So yeah, we talked about Leon, leading into that, letting Franklin know how Wanda was supposedly doing. So maybe she's gonna be creating a music label, help creating this. We're gonna get the gangster rap stuff. So that can lead to a lot of other things we get to see.
Right.
Get a flash of NWA in the background or something. I don't know. That's cool, man. That's all I got, man. You got anything else?
Nah, that was good though. Good Snowfall, man. We got to figure out. Well, maybe later we'll figure out if people prefer Power or Snowfall one day in the future.
We're gonna put together a joint where we can do maybe take a poll first, then maybe we get some guys on too with us, and we'll lump some of them together and talk about them and rank them, that and Power and shoot, I'm gonna put the GOAT in there regardless, even though I
Why?
know what that's gonna end up on most people. The YL on most people's joints. So yeah, let's work on that. We'll put that together and get back at it.
Or
Get some more people time to catch up and do whatever. Maybe go find our guy Church, maybe some other people, and we'll see what go down.
cool.
All right. But other than that, we hope everybody enjoyed their Sunday. I'm about to get ready in 30 minutes. Pray that the Knicks can bring another one home in the Garden. And like I said, we got a good one right after that with Steph and De'Aaron Fox going at it. So everybody enjoy your Sunday. Get them drinks up, and we're going to holler. Peace.